Clair Obscur Expedition 33 origin story is even more insane than you'd think. Now, I know how this plays out, like what they're going to talk about here, and it's fucking wild, the shit that, like, this game should not exist by all accounts, like, with everything that's going on, particularly in triple and quadruple A, like, this game should not exist, and I know it is technically double A, but it's insane. Right, so Expedition 33 director Gilmore Brochure revealed that in an interview with the BBC that he decided to leave Ubisoft to create a Game of the Year contender purely because he was bored working for Ubisoft and wanted to try something new. See, Ubisoft. This could have almost been a Ubisoft game.
Dude, this is like the exact type of game that like Ubisoft kind of needs to make. Not necessarily like as I call it now, an FJRPG. See, that's my compromise. All right, I won't call it a JRPG. It's a French-Japanese RPG. This is the type of game that they need to play, make something that people actually want. And Ubisoft has failed to do that. X Defiant, you could argue they did, but it wasn't to the extent of what people wanted. There was a lot of problems with that game. Also, it being tied to Ubisoft probably helped kill it. Like, Ubisoft's brand was tainted by that point. It still is. It's crazy that this is the type of talent that has left and gone on and created something new. And they've created it's probably going to end up being Game of the Year at this point.
So far, it's my Game of the Year. So far,
yeah.
Top 3 is this, Monster Hunter, and AI Limit. And I'm still fairly early on, but this is already above all of them, man.
And then we got Doom coming out next week, I believe.
10 days. Yeah. But yeah, could you imagine if this came out under Ubisoft, how much they would have fucked this up? All right, anyway, through Expedition 33 selling over 1 million copies in 3 fucking days as a brand new IP, by the way, after being made by a core team of around 30 people, is enough of a story to make dev cycles stand out from standard AAA and quadruple A development. Tales of the game's origin make that story even harder to believe. So the director and the writer both spoke with the BBC about the topic, revealing the process of getting the team together was even more unlikely than people initially realized. And you wait till we get to the music section. Before they secured funding for the project, Brochure was securing dev talent and making a pitch deck by putting out posts on Reddit and putting a team together through online forums. He used fucking Reddit to find the people to make this game, right?
He used the online chat rooms, dude. He was back there in the chat rooms and getting crazy with it, being like, you know how C++ works? And he's on Omegle and he's just swiping through a bunch of black dudes jerking off and he finds the one person. Dude, Reddit's fucked. You've been on Reddit. You're a fucking Reddit mod, you sick fuck.
I'd like to be. Anyway, Serverberg has never even voice acted in a game before. She just thought it sounded like a fun idea and decided to submit a voice demo and threw her hat into the ring. I was like, I've never done that. It sounds cool. So I sent him an audition. One thing led to another, and she ended up becoming a lead writer of a story that is in large part praised because of how strong the core narrative. And then we have Lorraine Testard, the Expedition 33 composer, got recruited by Brochure thanks to interaction in SoundCloud comments. The music of this game came through SoundCloud. You remember SoundCloud? That's how that all fucking came about, man.
Dude,
SoundCloud.
Everyone remembers SoundCloud because of the shitty rap songs, but SoundCloud has been a great fucking tool for finding people. The other one that's out there is Bandcamp, which funny enough is owned by Epic. Still, I think they're looking at selling it, but they did buy Bandcamp, so there's a little tie-in to gaming as well. But yeah, man, they managed to find there's a lot of talent out there online, and we've been saying this. Like, how often are we like, oh, if a studio needs devs and they have a great modding scene, why don't you go and look at those modders who are making something interesting and unique, right? Bring those people in. They have that creativity and they have the skills. And even if they don't have all the skills, you can learn on the job. It's not like Bethesda is a small studio. You have room to learn on the job. This is a perfect example of just finding people with talent and pulling them together online. You have the best resource ever made at your fingertips for finding people who are talented. And studios don't utilize it as much. This is a perfect example of what utilizing it is.
Oh, it gets better, man. All right, so the director attributed his unnatural punishment of recruitment to massive luck paired with people being in lockdowns at the time, and wanting some new creative outlets. Look at that. That's all it took to make this fucking game, dude. That's fucking nuts. Regardless, many of the people working on the title had no experience in working in game development at all, or had very little. The team was made up mostly of solely junior members. There is no fucking excuse for any of these massive AAA games or anything like that. There is no fucking excuse. If this dude can go to Reddit, SoundCloud, find a bunch of fucking people that have no idea what they're doing, and they all learn and work together, and you can put out this game, I don't want to hear a single fucking excuse about any of these other games. As much as I like Monster Hunter Wilds, there is no fucking excuse for the way that launched. There is no excuse for Call of Duty. There's no excuse for any of this. If these people can come together and put out a game of this quality and at this price point, fucking all arguments are dead as far as I'm concerned.
This also kind of leads. This is very like DIY type of stuff. It's like, and I think that's what we're getting with gaming. I mean, the closest example I can think of in recent years was like punk rock, where it's like very DIY, and maybe you didn't like the music, but the whole ethos is, hey, no one's gonna give us a handout, no one's gonna help us, we have to learn to do it ourselves. And you pool a bunch of you together and you're able to come up with something that's pretty good, right? Gaming needs its DIY movement, and we're kind of in it right now. This is a perfect example. I hope they keep doing this. Like, I really hope they're like, hey, we found some good talent. We didn't even scratch the surface. Let's keep doing it this way. Become like that kind of outsider studio.
We have, I think, an amazing team, mostly of junior people, but they're so incredibly invested in the project and talented. Somehow it worked, which still makes no sense to me after all these years. So when Guillermo founded Soundful and made a site, he started with a simple blog post. Well, we don't have much to share now other than what we shared on this main page. It's the very beginning, but rest assured this blog will be oh so amazing. Stay tuned. And 5 years later, he was right. Imagine going from that to this game, man. Don't want to sound like a broken record here, but there is zero fucking excuse, man. If you can get these group of fucking misfits. I mean, this dude's got fucking red hair. He looks like a young Carrot Top, man, and they have no idea what they're doing, and they put out this game. Like, this is fucking nuts. But
if El Helio del Carrot Top can fucking find success, then so can you guys. Come on.
Oh, but it gets better, man. All right, so Clair, Obscur Expedition 33 director says it would have never have been made at a AAA studio. Well, considering he used to work at Ubisoft, that's a very fair statement. Right, now, the creative director and CEO of Expedition 33, Sandful Interactive, discussed the difficulty of pitching a brand new IP to bigger companies in a YouTube interview. So that's cool. In May 1st interview, he said, for this kind of project with a new IP, an original story, original for characters, it's very hard to propose in a bigger company. And yet here it is fucking beating out the likes of Assassin's Creed and fucking Dragon Age and fucking everything like that as well, man. And this is a brand new IP and it's beating well-established IPs as well. Dude, there was that whole fucking report about how apparently there's people over at Square Enix going, fuck, why didn't we do that? So in those bigger structures, you generally need to prove yourself first and be well placed to have any hope of pitching this kind of project, he continued. And again, just dialing it back to Square Enix real quickly, this was selling faster than Final Fantasy 16. It's fucking, like, get cucked. So Brosher worked at Ubisoft before departing the company to found Soundful, a position he previously told the BBC he had grown bored with. I would imagine it would be boring working at Ubisoft. All right, he recruited the would-be team of Expedition 33's 30-member development team from, we just went over all of that, including fucking SoundCloud and all that type of stuff, right? Now, this is the interesting part. This is the kind of project, if doable, would have taken me 25 years before being realized. I think he might be overblowing it a little bit there. And I don't have enough patience for that. Brosher said of his decision to move away from AAA game development was to create a game infused with passion. We needed that bunch of friends making a game kind of atmosphere. Having the flexibility and agility is kind of exclusive to indie studios. This is why everyone praises AA these days, man. This is why everyone fucking praises AA because of this. This shit just does not happen in AAA. Not anymore, man. Everything he's described reminded me of original Gears, like the way they made the game.
Yeah, I mean, like, you can bring up a ton of games. It's only recently that we've had these, like, super, like, huge monolith studios. I mean, you go back even to the, 2 generations ago, there were like kind of still that ragtag group of people who were coming together to create something. Before that too, there was a lot of like small dev teams that were working on games. I mean, look at what Atari was like when it started, right? And also with AA right now, it costs less for you to buy and the quality ends up being better, right? Not necessarily of I mean quality in the sense of not coming out broken. A lot of AA games usually have their quality figured out. And that's something I was impressed with Clair Obscura. I have run into 0 issues with it. It runs really, really well on my PC. I haven't seen anyone complain about issues with it, and maybe I just am missing something, but I haven't seen any complaints. 30 people, most of them didn't know how to do game development. One of them just wrote the story because they got hired to be a voice actress, which they had never done before. Like this is, and it keeps coming back to this, man. It doesn't, if you have talent and drive and you're willing to put effort into something, you can come up with like amazing shit, right? That I'm sorry, I just don't see the talent and drive at a lot of other studios.